So we move on with our word-to-word explanation of Elementary School Classroom in a Slum by Stephen Spender. We covered the first two stanzas last time we were together. We take up the third stanza, a brief recapitulation though, and it would be appropriate at this point in time to understand that this particular piece of poetry is about the disparity, the inequality, or the difference, the gap that exists between formal education system and the reality, the ground reality, about which I've talked at length in the previous videos. So the last thing that we were at was Stephen Spender is contrasting or highlighting the inappropriateness of the world political map, which happens to be one of the 4 chart papers that have been put on the wall, classroom wall, to decorate the classroom. And chart papers or charts, they actually reinforce learning. That is the purpose they are put up on the wall. However, the reality is that it doesn't serve any purpose. Why will be explained herein on, and has been explained in the stanzas that follow. In this particular stanza, in the second stanza, he simply expresses the futility or the uselessness of the world political map by telling the readers that this particular world political map is not it does not represent the world that the children lead their lives in. The world that they lead their lives in is the world that they get to see outside from the classroom windows, and the world wherein the air is polluted, many deadly toxic chemicals have been pumped into it. They don't get to see, which reduces visibility. Of course, this has figurative meaning also. And then the figurative meaning, of course, is that this particular absence of clarity in the air actually also can be extended to mean an uncertain future of the children. And the congestion as of this is further aggravated by the congested narrow lanes and by lanes in the place that they live in. So a narrow street sealed in with a lead sky. They don't get to see a clear blue sky. This world actually is the world that they lead their lives in, and this world is far, far away, world apart from the world of rivers, capes, beaches, that is, and the stars of words, that is the world that the words or the world that the literateurs have created in their works by way of words, or the world that they've created using words or painted using words in their works. He's actually talking of the great poets, novelists, and story writers and playwrights. So this is the reality. In the next stanza, he describes and absolutely in a critical tone the uselessness of the painting or the portrait or the chart paper that depicts Shakespeare's portrait. Now, the reason he calls Shakespeare wicked, the reason is the Shakespearean world, and the Shakespearean world has been described in the sentence that follows, with ships and sun and love tempting them to steal. This is the Shakespearean world. The world that is the world that Shakespeare has created in his plays is a world of ships. Ships here means wealth. That means you can understand it. This is a symbol. Ships here refer to wealth. You can visualize ships laden with wealth returning home. Sun is a symbol of authority. The characters in Shakespearean plays are authoritative. They enjoy or exercise the authority to control their destiny. And his world is the world of romance, the world which is absolutely distant from the world of reality. His is an idealistic world. So these three things: wealth, authoritative characters, and romance, tempt these children. This is what he assumes. It would tempt these children into a world of thievery, and it would induce them to steal. And once they enter the world of why would they enter the world of thievery in the first place? They would enter the world of thievery because the Shakespearean world would tempt them, and they would want all these things overnight. And because they will not get all these things overnight, or nothing of this overnight, they would steal. They would resort to thievery. And that is what would bring them inside this bleak world of thieves. And they would, once they enter this world, they would never be able to come out of it. They would never be able to come out of it, and they would lead a secretive existence. It says, for lives that slyly turn in their cramped holes, slyly, secretively.